So it's going to take you a fair few coats. So it took me about 5 coats to get it all just nice, great coverage all over. Now this is a two-stage camo pattern. I just do it all over the first camo pattern. Just makes it easy just to blast it all over in grey and then come along with the green on top and make the camo pattern that way. I mean, you can, if you want, sort of make the camo pattern with the first colour and stuff, but I find it easier just to whack it all down. So with the green, we're going to be using, it's number 163, which is the dark green. We're going to be coming in with a smaller flat brush this time. This one's a 3mm flat brush, just so we can sort of make the pattern a bit easier, because this is a bit, you know, of a big one to sort of try and sort of make our pattern. Now when it comes to making the pattern, it's good to sort of have the instructions in front of you like so. It's also good to orientate the instructions as well, because we're doing the top part here. So if we bring in, you know, and orientate the top with our piece as well. Same again, it's about a 50-50 mix with the paint and water. Right, it's potentially not such a bad idea to go for a bit of a, you know, a kind of a more thinner mixture when doing the first layer, because the first layer we want to concentrate on getting our pattern, and then after that we can build up coverage. So a nice thin mixture sort of allows us to sort of get our pattern a bit better. So again, we make sure our paintbrush is not soaking with paint, and then we can look at our wingtip just here. Right, let's bring you in a bit closer. Looking at our wingtip here, and we sort of want to sort of start where we can see where it's starting and try and follow that pattern. Let's put some, you know, little raises and, you know, kind of go with the flow. Right, we can also sort of even look at indications on the model and the instructions themselves. Right, because we do have indications. Right, as you can see on the instructions, you probably can't see it on camera, but it does show you like the panel lines as well. We can sort of see these little raised notches here, and I can sort of see the camo pattern comes in between the first and the second, so I know not to go any further than that, where I'm just brushing there. And it's just all, you know, I mean, you don't have to be 100%, you know, follow it, but you know, you can follow all those nice recessed panel lines and sort of get it really sort of close to what it shows in the instructions. When you've got the pattern, you can just fill it in again. Right, we can sort of, I can see that it starts here, right, and we go across, got a couple of squiggles, maybe come at this end, right, and there we go. I've sort of painted in the pattern there, right, and then we can come in and just fill it in. Right, now it's quite a thin mixture, because as I say, I'm more concerned about getting the pattern right. So it's a bit sort of faint, but we've got our pattern there, and then I can build up and build up on that just nicely. Again, it's probably actually it takes it's about 5 coats with the grey, because the grey is a bit, you know, grey is a lighter colour. With the green, it's maybe about 3, maybe 4 coats to get good coverage on that, because it's a darker colour. It'll cover a lot better, and then that will be like most of the painting done. Also remember, you know, I mean, if you do sort of see any bubbles on the surface, give it a quick blow and it should hopefully pop the bubbles just nicely. It's just about taking your time, making sure your paint mixture is just right, not too thick or you get streaks, not too thin that it just, you know, doesn't give you hardly any coverage. Just getting that sweet spot and just nicely painting it, building up coat after coat after coat. Try not to rush it. You try and rush it and you're going to be going thicker paint, brush strokes and all sorts of nasty stuff. So I'm going to continue doing a nice little camo pattern here. So we are now all painted. It has taken a little bit of time to actually get to this stage because being brush painting, you want to sort of make sure you get damn good coverage, because it does sort of leave like, it can leave like watermarks, slight brush strokes and stuff. So you really want to sort of build up and make sure you've got good coverage, or you'll notice those little imperfections. It has sort of also dried to a nice bit of a glossy finish, but although it may sort of dried a little bit to a glossy sort of finish, we want to protect this, right? I know this is like a basic build and everything, but you know, the stages that you want to be sort of learning and making as a foundation, a fundamental of model building, is you paint your model, seal it in with a gloss coat, you protect all that work, and it just makes all your deckling and weathering after that much more easier, and it saves any sort of problems. Deckling solutions, they could eat into the paintwork. Even weathering products, they can eat into the paintwork. Gloss coat, seal it in, job done. It's basically saving your work. So as we've already sort of shown you when we was doing the cockpit, we've got our multi-floor Pledge floor cleaner, all those other products out there I've already mentioned. We've got it in this little pot here. I'm just going to get out a palette, right, and we're just going to pour some of this just on here like so. We're going to get out our nice sort of, I've got a 6mm flat brush here. Now with this, it is rather thin. There's no need to do any thinning down, but because it is so thin, we do want to be a little bit more careful with this stuff. So let's just bring you in. Right, what we want to do is we just want to not soak the brush at all with this. We really want to have this almost like a film, a perfect film all over the model. No pooling up, no going into recesses and pooling up there, just absolutely, you know, perfect 100% all over the model. So I'm just going to start with this wing just here, and we're just going to very lightly, just with the tip of the brush, as you can see, this is like a really sort of light coat that's going on just here, right, and we're just going to keep it nice and light. Right, if we get any sort of pooling up, it just makes things look a bit nasty. Right, if you get any bubbles, again, good old just come along and blow at it, and that should get rid of the bubbles. And hopefully you can see that that's just put on a really nice simple gloss coat. Maybe 2 coats of this, and it should be good for deckling. And that is basically it. You know, you just got to keep it so your brush is just not soaking. It's almost sort of a little bit more than damp, right, and you just see it lightly go wet down, and there's nothing kind of flowing off anywhere or pooling up anywhere. Everywhere's getting equal. We've got these raised bits here, so we just want to make sure we don't get like big lumps of it pooling up around raised edges or anything. Alright, and just keep it really nice and even throughout the painting. 1 coat may do it, 2 coats just to be on the safe side. We are brushing this on, we're not spraying it on, so when we brush on, it does seem to go on thicker than if you were to be spraying it, so we should be all right with 1 or 2 coats just there. And then we want to leave that to dry. We're going to be doing deckling, so we're going to be using we're going to be using deckling solutions, and these things can react with paint or gloss that hasn't had proper time to dry and cure. So I'd just leave this overnight, 24 hours, to nicely dry, so as we don't have any reactions or anything like that. And what I mean by curing, I mean, although this will be touch dry within 15 minutes, because it does dry rather quickly, I mean like right down to the core, right down to the bone, the paint actually curing. So you know, just make sure you leave it overnight.